Here it is, the 26th of September, and the puppies were 3 weeks yesterday. You can see how big they're getting. Still getting milk from Mummy. They're out of their pen at the moment, and we're going to be moving them into a bigger pen. We'll be making their pen a lot bigger, and they'll be learning to use their paper. There's little Sam. His collar's come off, but I'll put a new one on, but he's easy to tell because he's a good bit darker than the others. There's Ethan with the blue collar and little Aston underneath. Then we've got our little girl Ava, and our last little one is now being called Teddy by his new owner to be. I'll see if Gemma will leave them alone. They are walking around quite well. Gemma! 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 Oh, she's too happy getting... Come on, Gemma. Come away and let them walk around a bit. Gemma! She said, no, I'm happy lying here feeding them. She certainly needs a good brush. It's on the agenda to bath her before the weekend. She looks a bit shaggy. She hasn't been bathed since the pups were born. She's had a couple of brushes, but they get really grotty looking feeding a litter of pups. They're all enjoying that, aren't they? Hold on, I'll see if I can pick each one up. Oh, here we go. Come here, babies. Here we've got little Sam, dear little bloke. He's going to go and live in Sydney. Here we've got our big boy Ethan. He's a really gentle pup, this one. He's gorgeous. He looks like going to Sydney too. You beautiful boy. Here's Aston. Aston's a shade or two darker than Ethan, but still quite light. He's got a really sweet face. Isn't he gorgeous? There's little Teddy. Teddy's going to live in Victoria, aren't you, Teddy? He's the one with the little white top on his head. He's a sweetheart. And lastly, here's our little girl, all her sisters, all her brothers. Hello, sweetheart. Yes, I took your mummy away from you, didn't I? Look, see, they're walking around. They're weeing on the blanket, but this gets thrown in the wash. Just looking around at what's going on. In another week, they'll be running and woofing and feeding and actually turning into dogs, not puppies. They start to hear not long before 3 weeks, and you always know when they've started to hear because they're a little bit noisy. It's for a day or so. And it's hearing sounds that they're not familiar with, but they're all hearing. I can go to their pen and say something and they all jump up. They're starting to know us and enjoy getting cuddles. This gets more and more so as they get older. Once they're a bit older, that's all they want, to be picked up and loved. Oh yes, you're beautiful, all of you. Always love my puppies when they're here, even though this little wasn't planned. I'm loving them just as much as every other one. Before long, I'll send you some more and they'll be a lot bigger.